Hi, I'm Randy Wooden, and welcome to another in our Edge Library series. This time we're talking with military folks and dealing with that weakness question. Now, that's a question that you'll get many times during your career, and you better have an answer for it. So, let's get started. First of all, what I wouldn't do if I'm in your shoes, I don't like the answer of I'm a perfectionist. You've probably been taught that. I'm telling you, don't do it. You know why? Everybody's done it so often, and as soon as I hear, well, I think mine's a weakness, weakness is that I'm a perfectionist, I kind of roll my eyes and go to sleep, and I don't really pay attention to what they're about to say. So, I wouldn't go that route. What I would do, think about this for a second. The employer isn't blind. They can look at your application, they can look at your resume, they can look at you physically, and they can make determinations about whether someone's qualified, about their character, again, rightly or wrongly. They can base those on looking at either the paper or looking at you. What I would like to do if I'm in your shoes, I'm the candidate, what I would prefer that you do is address something that is obvious to them. If you're in the military and this is going to be your first job out of the military, I like to use the phrase, some people might say that, and then state something that they can see which is obvious, and then proceed to say, well, while I can't change that today, here's what I can offer you. So let's put that into practice. Well, some people might say that the fact that I haven't worked in the civilian world, other than jobs in high school, might be a weakness. And while I can't change that today, what I can point to is, and then you list 2 or 3 or 4 attributes or skills or character traits of you while you were in the military. What I can tell you is I've undergone extensive training and development. I've worked in very high pressure situations. I've had to be very precise in terms of issuing orders and following orders and understanding loyalty and accountability, responsibility. And I could go on and on and on. But those are all transferable skills or character traits that, you know what, it's obvious that you don't have the civilian workforce experience. But you know what, you're still sitting in front of that employer. So there was something about you, your background, that they saw and they liked. Don't shy away from it. That's your meal ticket. What you did in the military is a good thing, and yes, it is transferable to what I'll call the civilian world. That's one way to go about it. Another way to go about handling the weakness question, and I don't like to quibble with the employer, but if the employer says, what's a weakness? That's really a poor question. Now, if I'm the employer, I'll ask, well, can you tell me about something you've identified that you've had to work on and improve over the years, and tell me what steps you took to do so? Now, that's a little bit better, because what it does is it allows you as the candidate to talk about something that you've recognized that you need to work on and how you've been proactive in trying to work through that. And while it may never be 100% put to rest, you have taken steps to make it less of a challenge or less of an issue for you. Time management is probably one of the easiest ones to talk about. You think back to when you were in high school versus either going to college first or going military or whatever, then college, wherever you're at. Think about this. What about your time management skills? When you jumped into military, buddy, you know what? Those time management skills had to improve by leaps and bounds. If nothing else, you're good at time management because you had to be. You had to learn how to be that. Now, granted, you had somebody kicking you in the butt. The reality is, whether you do it that way or you do it going through a mentor or a guidance counselor or somebody at school or even an employer who has helped you with budgeting your time, those are all things that you can talk about and say, yes, I have identified this and here are the steps I took to try to work on that. I don't like using the word weakness. I would say, here's something I've identified and have worked to improve. So that's how you might want to handle the question about weaknesses. It's going to wrap it up for this in our Edge Library series, talking to military folks and dealing with the weakness question. I'm Randy Wooden. Thanks for watching.